Hello, welcome back to STEM Smart Academy. Today we are discussing Mathematics Grade 8 2025, that is the Step Flyer 005. Question number 1, write this number in words. When you look at the question, learners, the number, for you to write this number in words, we are going to divide them into threes from the right hand side. So the first three, you put a comma, the next three, you put another comma. So the number will be read as 35,996,058. Now let's look at our choices. It should be 35 million. When you look at choice A, it's talking about 35,000, so choice A is wrong. Choice B, 35 million, 96,000, so the 96,000 roots it out, it's wrong. Choice C, 35 million, 996,058. This is correct. Let's look at choice D also. 35,996,580. The 80 here roots it out. So the correct choice here is choice C for cat. Question number 2. What is the seventh number in the sequence? Underline the meaning of the term seventh number. So when you look at these numbers, we have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared gives you 4, 3 squared gives you 9, 4 squared gives you, so this is 1 squared, this is obtained by taking 2 squared, 3 squared gives you 9, 4 squared gives you 16, 5 squared gives you 29. Obviously, the next number here should be 6 squared, which gives you 36. Then 7 squared here, which gives you 49. Because they want the seventh number, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the correct answer here is 49. Looking at our choices, it is choice D for dog. Question number 2. Round off this number to the nearest thousands. So when you look at the number is 9,394,258. To the nearest tens of thousands, so ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. Ones, tens, 100,000s, tens of thousands is the digit 9. Look at the digit on the right, that is 4. Because 4 is less than 5, they'll change it to 0. So we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 9, 3, 9. So that will be 390,000. 9,390,000, which makes choice B for boy the correct answer. Choice B for boy, the correct answer. Question number 4, you are being asked. Question number 4, you are being asked which fraction among the following? Which fraction among the following has the smallest value? Which fraction among the following has the smallest value? Ladies and gentlemen, when you want to get the fraction that has the smallest value, we are going to multiply each fraction by 100%. We are going to convert them to percentages. The one that will be having a smaller percentage is the one that has a smaller value. So when you take 3 over 8, you multiply this by 100%. In your calculator, 3 over 8 times 100%, you are going to get 37.5. 37.5. 9 over 11 times 100, what are we going to get? 9 over 11, that is 9 over 11. You multiply that by 100, you're going to get 81.81. Then 7 over 9, 7 over 9 multiplied by 100, that's going to give you, when you multiply this by 100, you get 77.8. Then when you multiply 5 over 8 times 100, let's multiply 5 over 8, you multiply that by 100%. This is giving you 62.5. Then compare the values. 62.5 77.8, 81.81, and 37.5. Which one has the smallest value? It is this 37.5, whose fraction is 3 over 8. So the correct answer here is A for apple. A for apple. Let us look at question number 5. What is the value of x in the equation? So 6x minus 2 into 2x minus 4 being equal to 10. So let's open the brackets. This is going to be 6x minus 4x. Then negative 2 being multiplied by negative 4 becomes positive 8 being equal to 10. So 6x minus 4x, that becomes 2x being equal to 10 minus 8 when it goes the other side. So we are going to have 2x being equal to 10 minus 8 is a 2. I want to get the value of x. I divide here by 2. I divide here by 2. So x is going to be equal to 1. Looking at the choices, yes. Choice C for cat stands out as the correct answer. Question number 6. A meeting started at 8:35 a.m. It took 5.25 hours. At what time in 24-hour clock system did it end? So the meeting began at 8:35. It took 5.25 hours. That's like saying 5 hours 15 minutes. So we are going to add this to get the end time. So 5 plus 5 is 10, 0 carry 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1, you get 5. Then 8 plus 5 is 13. So this will be 1350 hours. 1350 hours. Looking at our answers, which one is correct? 1350 hours. Choice D for dog. Choice D for dog. Question number 7. Simplify the inequality. You have a third x minus 4 plus 5 less than 4. So that can be written as a third x minus 4 plus 5 will be plus 1 being now less than 4. So this will be now a third x being less than 4 minus 1 less than 4 minus 1 less than 4 minus 1, because when positive 4 crosses the inequality symbol it will become minus 1. So this is going now to become a third x. We are now having a third x being less than 3. Then we multiply both sides by 3. So you are going to get x. So because 3 and 3 will cancel here, you are going now to have x being less than 9. X being less than 9. Looking at our choices, be very keen with the inequality symbol. X should be less than 9. So the correct answer here is A for apple. A for apple. The correct answer there, ladies and gentlemen, is A for apple. Let's get a look at the next question. Let's have a look at question number 8 of our discussion. Question number 8 of our discussion, that the area of a square piece of our garden is 9,409 square meters. Square meters. What is the perimeter? What is the perimeter of the garden? So, ladies and gentlemen, for us to respond to that question well, we need to be very, very keen. So they are talking about the area of a square piece of a land. Remember, because it is a square, ladies and gentlemen, you all know that because it's a square, area is given by side squared. So to get the area here, to get one side of the square S, we are going to get the square root of 9409. We need to get the square root of 9409. So let us see what is the square root of 9409. The square root is 97. The square root, so one side is 97 meters. That is just the square root of one side. That is the square root. The apologies for that. That is the square root of 97. The square root of the side, the mesh of one side. So perimeter is given by perimeter of such a figure is being given by 4 multiplied by one side, which is 97. 4 multiplied by 97. So when you take 4 to multiply by 97, you get 388 meters. So that becomes your answer. 388 becomes your answer in that question. Looking at our choices once again, it is choice B for boy. Choice B for boy. Let's look at question number 9. How many groups of 50 are represented in the total value of digit 5 in the number? The number is 7,543,621. So first of all, let's get the total value of digit 5. So that is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So the total value of digit 5 is the total value of digit 5 is 500,000. 500,000. Then you divide this now by 50 to get the groups of 50s. You divide that by 50. So this and this goes. So 5 here 1, 5 here. This will be 10,000. 10,000. So the correct answer here is going to be 10,000. Looking at our choices, choice C for cat is the correct answer. Choice C for cat is the correct answer. Let's have a look at question number 10. What is the square root of 3 whole number 1 over 16? First of all, we convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction by taking 3 times 16, that is 48, plus 1, that is 49. So we are going to get the square root of 49 over 16. The square root of 49 all over 16. The square root of 49 is 7 all over. The square root of 16 is 4. So we are having 7 over 4 as our answer, but you cannot leave your answer as a mixed fraction. Sorry, as an improper fraction. You convert it to a mixed fraction. That will be now 1 whole number 3 over 4. 1 whole number 3 over 4. Looking at our choices, choice D for dog is the correct answer. Choice D for dog is the correct answer. Let us look at question number 11. Decrease 450 by 50%. When you decrease 450 by 50%, it means you take 50, you take 50 over 100, you multiply that by 450. 50 over 100 times 450. And when you multiply that by 450, you are going to get 225 is your answer. 225 as your answer. 225 as your answer. 225 as your answer. Let us look at question number next, that is question number 12 of our very paper. Find the length of the side marked P in the figure below. Find the length of the side marked P. When you look at this, the area is 84. So how do you get area of a triangle? Area of a triangle should be given by area of a triangle is given by a half times base times height. So the area is 84. So that means that 84 is equivalent to a half times the base, which is now 24, times our height, which we don't know. So this means that 84 will be equal to 12h. So to get the value of h, I'm going to take 84 divided by 12. 84 divided by 12. And when you divide 84 by 12, that means when you divide 84 by 12, when you divide 84 by 12, what are you going to get? That should be, I want you to be very, very clinical. So our h here should be 7 centimeters. Our h should be 7 centimeters. And the moment that is 7, now to get P, we are, so 7 meters, not centimeters, because the units are in meters. So it should be 7 meters. After that, ladies and gentlemen, to get the value for P, we are now going to apply the Pythagoras theorem, whereby we know that P squared is given by 7 squared plus 24 squared. 7 squared plus 24 squared. What does it mean? It means when you take 7 squared plus 24 squared, you get 625. So P squared is equal to 625. It means also that P is given as the square root of 625. So that means that P is equal to, when you get the square root of 625, that will be 25. So the value of P is 25. When you look at your choices, you get choice B for boy as the correct answer. Choice B for boy as the correct answer. Question number 13. Work out the value of the square root of 0.9216. The better way is to convert this into a fraction. When you convert this into a fraction, that's like saying 9216 divided by 10,000 divided by 10,000. So you start the square root of 9216. What is the square root? The square root of 9216 is 96. All over the square root of 10,000 is 100. But now when you look at your answer, it's in decimal. When you convert 96 over 100 to a decimal, it's going now to become 0.96. 0.96. So looking at it, what is the most correct answer? Choice C for cat. Be very keen with the decimal points, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 14. Isaac bought a shirt for 1,200 after he was given a discount of 300 shillings. Calculate his percentage discount. We've been told to calculate Isaac's percentage discount. Ladies and gentlemen, for us to calculate percentage discount, first you need to know the marked price. So our marked price in this question, remember, the person bought it at 1,200 after being given a discount of 300 shillings, meaning that initially the marked price for this item, the the marked price, the marked price for this cloth was 1,200 plus the 300. So the marked price is 1,500 shillings. 1,500 shillings. But remember, because you want percentage discount, it's normally for you to compute percentage discount, you normally take the discount all over the marked price times 100%. So our discount here is 300 over 1,500 times 100%. So you use your calculator. 300 all over 1,500, then you multiply that by 100%. That gives you a 20% discount. 20% discount. 20% discount. So we've already found that our percentage discount is 20%. Let's have a look at the next question, which says that what is the sum of the first 28 odd numbers? Remember, the term is sum, so that's going to be, first you need to know what is an odd number. An odd number is a number that is not divisible by 2. The first odd number is normally 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus, this should be now plus 9 plus 11 plus 13, sorry, plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19 plus 21. So I need to be keen, there should be 28. Okay, these ones are less. Plus 23 plus 25 plus 27 plus 29 plus 31 plus 33 plus 35 plus 37 plus 39 plus 41 plus 43. Then after 43 should be now plus 45 plus 47 plus 49 plus 51 plus 53 plus 55. Let me count how many numbers are these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now I need to do the addition now using my calculator. So it is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19 plus 21 plus 23 plus 25 plus 27 plus 29 plus 31 plus 33 plus 35 plus 37 plus 39 plus 41 plus plus 43 plus 45 plus 47 plus 49 plus 51 plus 53 plus 55. That gives you 784. 784. So that is our answer, 784. Let's have a look at question number 16 now. Let's have a look at question number 16. Find the perimeter of the rectangle drawn below. When you look at that rectangle, the length, we have two measurements for the length, 7x minus 4 and 5x plus 10. Under the laws of under the laws of under the laws of under the properties of a rectangle is that the length is always equal, opposite sides are equal. So that means this 7x plus 4, which represents the upper length, should be equal to 5x plus 10, which represents the lower length. On collecting like terms, 7x minus 5x, that should become 2x, which will be equal to 10 minus 4, which is 6. When you divide through by 2, you are going to get your x value as 3. Your x value is going out to be 3 when you divide through by 2. So to get the length here will be now 7 times x. So 7 times 3, that will be 21. 21 minus 4, that becomes 17 as our length. Hold on a bit. I'm just curious. So let me do the calculation a bit. Let me confirm. So 7 times 3, that is 21, minus 4, that is 17. When I test using the lower values here, we have 5x, so that is 5 times x, which is 3, that is 15, plus 10, that is 25. Why is it not bringing 7x? Oh, sorry. This should have been negative 4. I've written it wrongly. That's why we are not getting the same thing. This should be a 7x minus 4. 7x minus 4 being equal to that. So 7x minus 5x becomes 2x. Then we are going to have some little changes on these ones on the right hand side, because now 10 plus 4, because this is negative 4, on crossing to the right will become plus 4. So that will become 14. So 2x is equal to 14, meaning x is equal to 7 meters. Now when you substitute, 7 times 7 will be 49. Now when you take 49, you minus 4, you get 45. 45 as your length. Then the width here will be 3x plus 8. So 3 times x, which is 7, that becomes 21. Then 21 plus 8 will become 29. 29. Then because they want perimeter, now you start perimeter is equals to 2 into length plus width. And when you substitute, so that is going out to be 2 into 45 plus 29. 45 plus 29. When you take 45 plus 29, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get 74. You multiply by 2, that is 148. 148 meters. 148 meters. So that makes it to be choice B for boy. Choice B for boy. Let us have a look at the next question. That is question number 17. Edward bought 144 kilometers so Edward covered 144 kilometers in 2 hours. What was his speed in meters per second? So the first thing you need to know is speed is normally given by distance over time. So when you look at this, so the distance here is 144, then divided by 2. So that is going to give you 72 kilometers per hour. But now because they want the speed in meters per second, you take your speed in kilometers per hour, that is 72, you multiply that by 5 over 18. So when you take 72 times 5 over 18, what do you get? That gives you 20 meters per second, which is choice C for cat. Choice C for cat for question number 17. Be very keen with the units, ladies and gentlemen. Be very, very keen with units, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe to STEM Smart Academy. Don't forget to subscribe to STEM Smart Academy. Share the link also to your other friends so that they may also join such a beautiful discussion. Such a beautiful discussion. Let's have a look at now question number 18 of the very paper, that find the sum of prime numbers between 50 and 70. The first thing you need to know as a learner, a prime number is a number that has only two factors, that is 1 and itself. So first we need to know the prime numbers here. So the first prime number between 50 and 70 is 53. 53 is our first prime number. The second prime number is 59. The third prime number is 61. And finally we do have 67. Those are the prime numbers between 50 and 70. Look at the term sum. Sum means add. So let's add all those prime numbers and see what it evaluates to. So back to my calculator, I'm going to take, in my calculator, I'm now going to take 53 plus 59 plus 61 plus 67. That is giving us 240. 240 as the correct answer. Question number 19. Three bells ring at intervals of 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and 18 minutes. If they rang together at 10:15 a.m., at what time will they ring together again? Step number 1, let's get the LCM of 12, 15, and 18. So 12, 15, 18. We are getting the LCM of these numbers. So the first number here is 2, 2 here is 6, 15, 9. The next number 2, this is 3, 15, 9. The next number is 3, that will be 1, 5, 3. Then again 3, 1, 5, 1, then 5, 1, 1, 1. So you realize that the LCM here is 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So when you multiply that, 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5, that is 180. 180. And because these were minutes, so this will also be 180 minutes. When you convert 180 minutes, I take 180, I divide it by 60. This is equivalent to 3 hours. Meaning that the bells will ring together again after 3 hours. So if they run together at 10:15, if they run together at 10:15 a.m. plus 3 hours, this is going to be 13:15 hours. 13:15 hours is just like saying 1 p.m. when you convert it to 12-hour clock system. 13:15 hours is just like saying 1:15 p.m. 1:15 p.m. Let's have a look at question number 20. Simplify the expression. Then you've been given 7 into 3x plus 4y plus 2 into 2x minus 7y. Opening the brackets, 7 times 3x, that will give you 21x. 7 times 4y will be plus 28y. Then 2 times 2x will be plus 4x. Then 2 times negative 7y will be negative 14y. Collecting like terms together, we are going to have 21x plus 4x. That will be 25x. Then 28y minus 14y will be plus 14y. Looking at the choices, which is the correct answer, take care of the symbol. So the correct answer should be B for boy. B for boy. Question number 21, that marks the beginning of section B. You've been told that what is the value of, then you'll be given 36 being divided by 9 plus 3 times 2 minus 6 being divided by 3 times 5 plus 4. We are going to apply the rules of BODMAS. In answering the question. So step number 1, we go with the brackets. We don't have the brackets. Off, we don't have off. Then we go to division. 36 divided by 9, that is 4. Then plus 3 times 2. So negative 6 divided by 3 will be negative 2 times 5 plus 4. Then finally you go to multiplication secondly. So this will be 4 plus 3 times 2, that will be 6. Then negative 2 times 5, that will be negative 10. Then plus 4. After multiplication, following the rules, it will be addition. So we are adding 6 plus 4, that is going to be 10, minus 10 plus 4. Again, you add the positive numbers. So this is going to be 10 plus 4, then what you get, you minus 10. So this will be like saying 14 minus 10, giving you your answer as 4. So in that question, the answer is going to be positive 4. Let us look at question number 21. Question number 21, that an engine measured the length of a piece of cable. I think this should be an engineer measured the length of a piece of cable as 0.366. Convert the length into a fraction. You can see the 6 have dots at the top, meaning they are recurring. So we will say that let R be equal to 0.36666. So that means the 6 is recurring. Then 10R will be equal to 3.6666. 100R now will be equal to 36.666. So when you subtract 100R minus 10R, that gives you 90R being equal to 36.666 minus 3.666. This will be 33. So to get R, you divide through by 90. So R will be given by 33 over 90. When you simplify 33 divided by 90, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get 33 divided by 90. You are going to get that as 11 over 30. 11 all over 30. And that becomes the answer for that question. The answer for that question. Let us look at question number 23. Odwari's plot of land is in the shape drawn below. You can see. If he wants to fence the plot using a barbed wire, what length of the wire is required to go around the plot once? So this is 26 meters. Also here will be 26. Now, because this 21, this will also be 21, I now need to get the distance from here. I want to get that one. So that means circumference will be given by a half pi d, which is a half times the pi, 22 over 7, times the diameter, which will be now 21. So when you take a half times 22 over 7, you multiply that by 21, you are going to get 33 meters. You are going to get that distance as 33 meters. So meaning this part here is 33. So we need to do the fencing. What length of wire is required to go the plot once? So we are going to get perimeter. In that case, we need to compute what we call perimeter. So it will be now given us 26 plus 33 plus 26 plus 21. When you use your calculator well, 26 plus 33 plus 26 plus 21, you get 106 meters. That is the length of the wire we need. Question number 24. What is the value of this? When you look at this, what comes into your mind? We have minus, plus, multiplication, division. Application of BODMAS comes in. Brackets of multiplication, so the brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. We start with the brackets, we don't have, off is not there, division comes in. So this is now going to be a third minus 2 over 9 plus 4 over 5 times, we are now going to divide 1 over 8 divided by 1 over 4. So the first fraction will just remain as 1 over 8. The division sign changes to multiplication. Then the fraction after it also reciprocates to 4 over 1. So this is now going to become, if you look at it keenly, we'll be having now a third minus 2 over 9. So we've had a third minus 2 over 9. Then plus plus 4 over 5 plus 4 over 5. Multiply it by now 1 over 8 times 4 over 1. That's like saying a half. A half. Then after division, the next thing we are going to look at is multiplication. So we are going to have this as a third multiplied by 2 over 9 multiplied by 2 over 9 plus, sorry, it should be a third minus 2 over 9. The sign here should be subtraction. A third minus 2 over 9, a third minus 2 over 9 plus 4 over 5 times 1 over 2, that will become 2 over 5. 2 over 5. Now we go to addition, and I want to say something on this addition, ladies and gentlemen, which will need you be very keen, which will need you be very, very keen, to be very, very keen, because we are now going to have, in addition, we are going to add the positive numbers first. We add the positive numbers first. That means we are going to take a third plus 2 over 5, then now minus 2 over 9. Minus 2 over 9. When you take a third plus 2 over 5, a third plus a third plus 2 over 5, you are going to get 11 over 15. 11 over 15 minus 2 over 9. 11 over 15 minus 2 over 9. So when you subtract 2 over 9, you get 23 over 45. 23 over 45. 23 over 45. And that is how you are supposed to solve for that question. That's how you can solve for that question. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos to your other friends. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share our videos to your other friends. Alright, let's proceed with question number 25. Juma was reading a novel that had 400 pages. He read 1/5 of the pages on day 1 and 3/10 of the remainder on day 2. How many pages were left by the end of day 2? So, if Juma read 1/5 of the pages on day 1, that means that on day 1, Juma read 1/5 of 400. And when you multiply 1/5 times 400, you are going to get 80 pages. So meaning that Juma read 80 pages on day 1. During day 2, Juma read 3/10 of the remainder. So it will be 3/10 of the remainder. How do you get the remainder? The remainder you get it by taking 400 minus 80. So that will be like 3/10 of 320. When you take 3/10 of 320, you are going to get 96 pages. 96 pages. After getting 96 pages as the number of pages read on day 2, so how many pages were left? Remaining pages, you take the total number of pages, that is 400. You minus, I'm saying, you take the total number of pages, which is 400. You take the total number of pages, which is 400. Then you minus what was read on day 1, 80, plus what was read on day 2, that is 96 pages. When you take 80 plus 96, 80 plus 96, you get 176. Then you take 400 minus 176, you get 224 pages. So the number of pages that were left by the end of day 2 is 224 pages. 224 pages. Let's have a look at question number 26. Jacinta spent 0.25 of her net July salary on food, 0.15 on rent, and 0.35 on fees. If she finally remained with 5,000 shillings, how much was her net salary? A very simple question, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see food alone took 0.25. Food alone 0.25. Rent took 0.15, and fees took 0.35. The fees took 0.35. Then obviously we have the remainder. The total decimal should add up to 1. So the remainder is obtained by taking 1 minus what was spent on food, that is 0.25, plus what was spent on rent, 0.15, plus what was spent on fees, 0.35. So you are going to get this being equivalent to, let's add 0.25 plus 0.15 plus 0.35. That gives you 0.75. And when you take 1 minus 0.75, you get 0.25. So the remaining decimal is 0.25. and that 0.25 is equivalent to this remaining amount, which is 5,000. How much was earned salary? What about 1, which represents the total net salary? You cross multiply. This will be now 5,000. I'm saying this is now 5,000. 5,000 times 1. You divide this by 0.25. So when you take 5,000, you divide by 0.25, you get 20,000 as the net salary. So this is populating to 20,000 Kenyan shillings as the net salary in July. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos to your other friends. Question number 27. The distance between the Earth and the Sun is estimated to be 150 million kilometers. Express the distance in standard form. You know, when you are expressing it in standard form, it should take the form of maybe a times 10 power n, where a should be greater than 0 but less than 1. So this will be 1.5 times 10 power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 10 power 8. 1.5 times 10 power 8 kilometers. So that is how you express it in standard form. Write the numbers whose standard form are these ones here. So to write this one, the first one here will be 95, 965, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one here is going to be 0.00417. That's how we write those numbers in standard form. Question number 28. A carpenter makes two types of square coffee tables of sides 95.8 centimeters and 110.5 centimeters. What is the difference in their areas using mathematical tables? So first we are going to get 95. You know, area is given by side squared. So 95.8 squared. But in this case, we are now going to use mathematical tables. Let me also get my mathematical table around so that I can show you exactly how readings are being taken from mathematical tables. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to guide you step by step so that you get to know how readings exactly are taken. Don't forget subscribing to STEM Smart Academy if you find the channel helpful. Also invite your other friends. Tell them about STEM Smart Academy. Don't be selfish and be that type of a person who just wants to benefit alone. Knowledge shared will never be lost. So, based on our question, we want to square 95.8. So we go to the squares table. Let us go. This is cubes. We are going to squares table, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing is we are going to express 95.8 as in standard form. This is going to be 9.58 times 10. Then the whole of this you square. So we are going to 9.5 then 8 in our squares table. 9.5 then 8. Let's go to 9.5 then 8. I want you to follow this keenly. I want you to follow this step keenly. 9.5, then 8. Here we have our 9.5. Here we have our 9.5. We are going to move along the same row up to somewhere down 8 here. You are going to get, we are having 91.78. 91.78. So this is giving us 91.78. Now this is going to be times 100 because 10 squared is 100. So this is giving me 9178 square centimeters. So that is the area there. Let's also square 110.5 squared. So this will be now 110.5 will be given us 1.105 times 10 power 12 power 2. What you get is what you square now. So we go to 1.1 then 0. 1.1 then 0. We are going to 1.1, then we go to 0. 1.1, then we go to 0, ladies and gentlemen. 1.1, then we go to 0. 1.1, then we go to 0. That's going to give us 1.210, as you can see here. 1.1, then 0. It's meeting at 1.210. 1. We're getting that as 1.210. So the moment we have that, we are going to proceed along the same column to 5. Along the same column here to where 5 is in this other section. That is 11. And the rule is you add. So we are going to add our 11. We add our 11 here. So that will be 1.221 times now 10 squared squared. 10 squared is like 100. When you square it, we are going to get 10,000. So when you multiply that, let's see. Let's multiply. When you multiply 1.221 times 10,000, that is equivalent to 12,210. 12,210. Now they talk of the term difference. Ladies and gentlemen, difference means subtract. Now we are going to take 12,210 minus 9178. This is going to give us, when you subtract the two, 12,210, you minus 9178, 3,032. 3,032 square centimeters. And that is going to be your answer. That is going to be your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be your answer. Thank you. Let us have a look at question number 29. Evaluate the following using a calculator, giving your answer correct to 4 significant figures. Very important. They're just saying using a calculator here. What they mean, just key in the square root. Just key in the square root of 0.8913 using your calculator. I'm getting mine as 0.94486. But now because they wanted to 4 significant figures, so my answer is going to be, remember, 0 at the beginning of a decimal number is not significant, but 0 in between 2 and 0 digits is significant. to 4 significant figures, ladies and gentlemen, my answer is now going to be 0.9441. That is exactly to 4 significant figures. Question number B, the square root of 321,800. So that is going to give us 567.2741841. Again, to 4 significant figures, your answer is going to be 567.3. 567.3. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 30. Identify the greater ratio by expressing the ratios into a percentage. Underline the term by expressing the ratios into a percentage. So 11 ratio 20, 11 ratio 20 to a percentage, one you convert it to a fraction, that will become 11 over 20. You multiply this by 100. What are you going to get? When you take 11 over 20 using your calculator times 100, that's going to give you a 55%. Then you also compare 27 over 40, you multiply by 100. So when you take 27 over 40, you multiply this by 100, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get 67.5. Then you now look at their ratios. Which one are their percentages? Which one has a higher percentage? So the correct answer, the greater ratio here is 27 ratio 40. 27 ratio 40, because it also has a higher percentage. Let us have a look at question number 31 of 30B. The number of coronavirus infections reported in a country in the year 2021 decreased in the ratio 3:4. If 24,000 infections were reported in 2020, how many infections were reported in 2021? So you take, this is a ratio decrease. You express the ratio 3:4 as a percentage, as a fraction. When you express 3:4 as a fraction, it's going to become 3/4. Then you multiply that by 24,000. You multiply that by 24,000. When you multiply that by 24,000, ladies and gentlemen, when you multiply 3/4, when you multiply 3/4 by 24,000, 3/4 times 24,000, that's going to give us 18,000. That's going to give us 18,000. So that's the number of infections reported in the year 2021. Question number 31 says, a car traveling at 50 kilometers per hour completes a journey in 6 hours. How long will it take to complete the same journey if it traveled at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour? So by traveling at 50 kilometers per hour, it completed a journey in 6 hours. Let us get the distance. Remember this triangle here, distance, speed, time, whereby distance is given by speed multiplied by time. So the speed used was 50 kilometers per hour times the time of 6 hours, meaning the total distance covered here was 300 kilometers. 300 kilometers. So how long will it take to complete the same journey, meaning completing 300 kilometers at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour? You know, now they want how long, meaning they are talking about time. So time is given by distance over speed, which is the distance should be the same journey, so which is 300 kilometers. You divide by the speed of 80 kilometers per hour. When you take 300, you divide it by 80, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get 3.75 hours, or I can talk about 3 hours 45 minutes. It will take it 3 hours 45 minutes to complete the same journey. Let's have a look now at question number 32. Sorry. Factorize the following expression: r squared plus 3r plus pr plus 3p. So we are going to put them into 2's and factor out the common factor. In the first, r squared plus 3r, the common factor here is r. You factor it out, r. You'll be left with r plus 3. Then in the next case, this is going to be plus, the common factor here is p into r plus 3. Those that are not inside a bracket, you wrap them in one bracket. So we are going to have r plus p. Then those in the same bracket, you wrap them. Those inside bracket, because they are similar, you only pick one. So r plus 3. And this is going to be your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Part B of the same paper. 3m into 4 plus b plus 2n into 4 plus b. We want to do what? What are we told to do? Factorize. So those that are inside the bracket, we put them in one. Those that are inside the bracket, because they are the same, we maintain. And those that are not inside the same bracket, those that are outside now the bracket, we wrap them in one bracket. So this will be 3m plus 2n, then 4 plus b. 4 plus b. Question number 33. What is the value of 2q minus r over y plus n? So this means kwanza n is 5, y will be 2n, meaning 2 times 5, meaning y will be 10. Our y is going to be 10, ladies and gentlemen. Q will be given by n plus 9. So that is 5 plus 9, meaning our q will be 14. R is given by q minus 6. That is 14 minus 6, meaning our r is 8. So we are now going to have 2q. So it will be 2 into the value of q, which we found as 14, minus r, which is 8, all over y, which is 10, plus n, which is 5. So this will be 2 times 14, that is 28, minus 8, you get 20 over 10, plus 5. 20 over 10 will be like 2, plus 5. This gives us a 7. Question number 34. Question number 34, ladies and gentlemen. Solve the following simultaneous equation by substitution method. So when you look at equation 1, 2x plus y is equals to 11, and equation 2 we have 3x plus 4y being equal to 29. Underline the term substitution method, not elimination method being used. So we are going to use equation 1 and write it to the form y will be equal to 11 minus 2x. Now we are going to substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Wherever there is y, we are going to use the value of y, which is equivalent to 11 minus 2x. So in that case, we are going to have in our equation 2 now, we will be having 3x plus, instead of saying 4y, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about 4 into the value of y, which is 11 minus 2x, being equivalent to 29. On opening the bracket, we will now have 3x plus 44 minus 8x being equivalent to 29. Collection of like terms, 3x minus 8x will be negative 5x, being equivalent to 29 minus 44. When you take 29 minus 44, ladies and gentlemen, you get negative 15. Upon dividing through by negative 5 to get the value of x, you'll be getting your x being equal to 3 here. Your x will be equal to positive 3. Then to get the value of y, you know that from the first equation that 2x plus y is equal to 11. So this will be 2 into the value of x, which is 3, plus y being equals to 11. So this will be 6 plus y being equals to 11. 6 plus y being equals to 11. Y will be given by 11 minus 6. Therefore, the value of y is equivalent to 5. the value of y is equivalent to 5, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos to your other friends. Now let's have a look at question number 38. In a triangle EFG, line EF is equal to EG, and angle EFG is equal to 4x, and angle EGH is equal to 5x. What is the value of angle FEG? What is the value of angle FEG for marks? Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at such a question, one, the triangle is an isosceles triangle because it has two sides equal. But the fact that we have line EF being equal to line EG, it also means angle EFG should be equal to angle EGF. So if this angle is 4x, then obviously this other angle also here should be 4x. This other angle should be also 4x. And by that now you can see we are having this case here now. We are having uh, a certain case here whereby we are having a certain case whereby angle 4x and 5x lie on a straight line, and we all know that angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So that means if angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees, it will mean that 4x plus 5x is equal to 180 degrees. So 4x plus 5x gives, that one should be giving you 9x being equal to 180 degrees. 9x being equivalent to 180 degrees. That will mean that x will be equal to 20 degrees. X will be equal to 20 degrees. The moment now we have the value of x as 20 degrees, to compute, so this is 4x. 4x means 4 times x, meaning this angle should be 80. This other angle also here now is 80, 4 times x. And you know that by the principles of angles in a triangle, they should be adding up to 180 degrees. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to know is now that to compute the value of angle FEG, we are now going to take 180. We are now going to take 180 minus 80 plus 80. 180 minus 80 plus 80. Remember that 80 plus 80 is 160. You minus from 180. So this angle here is 20 degrees. This angle here is 20 degrees. 20 degrees because it is 180 minus 160. Let's have a look at question number. Let's have a look at question number 36. A salesman is paid a salary of 5,000 per month. He is also paid a 2.5% commission on sales of goods above 100,000. If the salesman sold goods worth 500,000 in a certain month, what was his total earnings? What was his total earnings? So when you look at the question, the salary is 5,000, but the person gets a commission on value of goods above 100,000. If the salesman sold goods worth 500,000, so first of all, let's calculate commission. To get our commission, we know that the formula is normally percentage commission over 100% times the value of goods. Percentage commission is given by that formula. Then we need now to do some computations here. Our percentage commission, we all know that it is 5 over 100. Then we are going to multiply by the value of goods, and our value of goods will be the value of goods that exceed 100,000. So commission is only given for the value of goods that are above 100,000. Then by selling goods worth 500,000, you get 400,000 is above 100,000. So that's what we are going to compute its commission. So again, you use your calculator. 2.5 over 100 being multiplied by 400,000. We are getting that as 10,000. So you realize that our commission here is 10,000. That is our commission. Then after getting our commission, ladies and gentlemen, they want their total earnings. Remember that the formula for getting the total earnings is normally basic salary plus commission. So our basic salary is 5,000 plus the commission of 10,000. So this is giving us 15,000 as the total earnings. 15,000 as the total earnings. 15,000 as the total earnings for the salesperson. Question number 37. Question number 37. Question number 37. We are being told that Amina paid 24,000 shillings for a TV set after getting a 20% discount. After getting a 20% discount. After getting a 20% discount. What was the market price of the TV? So, if you got a 20% discount, meaning that the Amina bought the TV at 80%. So that means 80% is equivalent to 24,000. 80% is equivalent to 24,000. What about 100%, which is our market price? Because the market price is always 100%. What about 100%? What you do, you cross multiply. You are going to get this as you are going now to get this as 100 times 24,000 divided by 80. Let's compute that. So 100 times 24,000 then divided by 80. That is giving us, when you compute that using a calculator, you are getting a market price of 30,000. A market price of 30,000. So that's how you compute for that question. Let's get to question number 38 of our discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos to your other friends. Question number 38. We are almost winding it up. So the question is, find the area of the shaded part in the figure below. To get the area of the shaded part, when you look at the figure, you need to calculate the area of the bigger rectangle minus the area of the smaller rectangle. Area of the bigger rectangle minus the area of the smaller rectangle. So let's start by calculating area of the bigger rectangle. Because it's a rectangle, area is given by area should be given by length multiplied by the width. So the bigger rectangle has a length of 50 meters and a width of 30 meters. Area of a bigger one is 50 by 30, and when you do the computation, this should give you 1,500 square meters. 1,500 square meters. Then we have also the area of the inner rectangle, or rather what is called the smaller rectangle, which is still given by length times width. But what will be our length in this case? Our length in this case now is going to be 40 being multiplied by 24. 40 being multiplied by 24. And that should be giving you, when you multiply that in your calculator, it should give you 960 square meters. Then to get, because the question wants the shaded area, or rather the area of the shaded region, it will be the area of the bigger rectangle. Area of the bigger rectangle, you minus the area of the smaller rectangle. You minus the area of the smaller rectangle. And when you do that computation, you are going to get 540 square meters. 540 square meters. 540 square meters, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting to our second last question. That is question number 39. A cylinder has a diameter of 1.4 meters and a height of 5 meters. How many liters of water can it hold when full? It is a cylinder. So, you know that you need to apply the formula for getting volume of a cylinder in this computation. Be very keen with the units. First, I want to tell you, learners, you need to remember the formulas in use. That volume of a cylinder is given by pi r squared h. Volume of a cylinder is given by pi r squared h. Then you need to do correct substitution. You need to do correct substitution. If the diameter is 1.7, then the radius should, if the diameter is 1.4 meters, then the radius should be 0.7. So pi r squared h, then you substitute. Then you use your calculator for higher degree of accuracy. Use your calculator, ladies and gentlemen, for higher degree of accuracy. You are going to get this as 7.7 cubic meters as the volume. 7.7 cubic meters. But now they want it in liters. They want it in liters. The capacity in liters. Now you need to remember the relationship between liters and cubic meters, whereby you all know that 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1,000 liters. 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1,000 liters. So what about 7.7 cubic meters? You cross multiply. So that will be like 7.7 being multiplied by 1,000, being multiplied by 1,000. So that gives you 7,700 liters. 7,700 liters. 7,700 liters. That is how you do that computation. Let's look at question number 40 of our discussion, ladies and gentlemen. That what is the value of part A, 10.5 squared? The best way to answer this question is you change the mixed fraction into an improper one. That will be 10 times 2, making it 20, plus 1. That will be, say 21 over 2, then squared. And when you square a number, that's like saying 21 over 2 being multiplied by 21 over 2. 21 over 2 being multiplied by 21 over 2. To square a number is to multiply that number by itself twice. So, this should give you, when you take 21 squared, that gives you 441 over 4. And remember, all your answers should be simplified. So 441 over 4, when you simplify that, that's going to be 110.25. 110.25. Should be 110.25. So that's how you respond to that. Part B, the square root of one whole number 7 over 9. For you to compute the square root of one whole number 7 over 9, ladies and gentlemen, you need to take 1 times 7, sorry, 1 times 9, that is 9, plus 7, that is going to be like the square root of 16 over 9. The square root of 16 over 9, ladies and gentlemen. And for you to get the square root of 16 over 9, for you to get the square root of 16 over 9, this is just like saying the square root of 16 all over the square root of 9. The square root of 16 all over the square root of 9. We all know that the square root of 16 is 4 all over the square root of 9, which is 3. So you are getting 4 over 3 as part of your answer. But remember the point that I had said. You cannot leave your fraction in unsimplified state. You cannot have a bigger numerator than the denominator. So when you simplify, 4 over 3 is going to be like 1 and a third. So 1 and a third is the most accurate simplified answer. 1 and a third is the most accurate simplified answer. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share our videos to your other friends. Tell them something about STEM Smart Academy. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. You can also consult us for individualized tuition programs via the number attached at the top of the paper. Our services are easily available with a highly experienced team. Thank you. See you in our next session. Goodbye for now.